What's up, my good people? Today's going to be something a little bit different on the Soundcheck podcast. We're going to try to do a solo episode. There's no guest. Adam is on vacation, taking some time off after a tour. Well deserved. He's been working super hard, so he's at the beach, kicking it. And I thought this might be a good opportunity for me to just come on and chat, field a couple questions that I did on the Instagram story, and just give you kind of a general update on what I've got going on personally. Um, I'm juggling a lot per usual, which is it's a great feeling. There's some days where I'm pretty stressed out and I feel overwhelmed and spread thin. And I think, like I've said on this podcast before, these are like problems I used to ask for. I just want to have my plate filled with stuff that I'm excited about and trying to do things that I'm passionate about with people that I care about. So, um, aside working with Adam and Abstract on their stuff, I am also off the road. I've got 6 weeks at home for the first time in a little bit. I've been on tour one way or another for the better part of this entire year. Um, and I've been home about a week now. I made like 6 or 7 Ellis demos slash features songs in the past few days. And I always feel like anytime I get off tour, I just come back really inspired. I got a lot to say. I'm just motivated to get more music on the calendar and try new stuff. And yeah, it's just been really cool. So I'm making a lot of cool music on that side that I'm really excited about. Um, if you don't know, I don't know how you're listening to this because you probably know. Um, on the Ellis side of things, which is where I do the hip hop stuff, Rap Dylan 4 is coming out on June something. This is a problem of doing a solo podcast. June 19th, the full project comes out. So I've been rolling that out basically this whole year. Every couple weeks there's been a single from the project. Got Matt Corman, Jay Zach, Abstract, Thorb, Ashton Larold, some dope features on that project. It's the fourth installment of the Rap Dylan series. Kind of treat that like an old school mixtape. I have my buddy Dion, who's one of my best friends, my college roommate. He's not in music, but I always have him like host the mixtape and like yell across the tracks and like ad lib. It's hella fun to do. So I'm gonna keep doing that as long as people want to listen to it. And things are going pretty well over there. So I'm gonna keep the ball rolling. But that project's coming out June 19th. Um, and then in July, there are 4 songs coming out that I'm featured on, collabs that have been like agreed to and kind of like in the system that I wanted to push for after the whole project comes out. So those are going to roll out weekly in July. And then after that, I kind of made a goal and made this decision in the past few weeks that I'm going to try to drop a song weekly on the Ellis side. I think building catalog is super important. And on that style of music, it's very easy for me to pull up some beats, talk my shit, mix the song myself, and finish it and get it out there. So I figured there's no excuse to like really flood the streets and try my hand to be ultra consistent, which I've done in the past, but it's been some years since I've done like a weekly release. So, um, yeah, that's why I've just been cooking and trying to fill out the rest of the calendar, for everybody that's tapped in. Um, with that being said, I have taken this time and I don't know, I just have this like spark in me to just become really good at everything I'm doing. Not that I was not trying to be good before, but uh even in the past like week, I feel like I've become better at mixing, better at producing. Definitely the last like few months. I produced Happy Medium and Rough Draft, which are the 2 latest Dylan Reese songs. I had some help from Sham and Dylan just to like play some solos and just like add some details, some ear candy. But I feel like I've come a long way as a producer. So I'm trying to put more and more reps in the studio, sitting right here, while I'm not on the road. And again, I'm just excited to do that. I'm excited to continue to build that part of what I'm doing. I'm feeling very creative and just like grateful to be in a space where like I can just wake up and make stuff. It's really fun. Almost childlike. So I'm in a good space mentally as far as that goes. Um, it's crazy to think about too because I've been doing this shit for so long, and it's almost like you never have it all the way figured out. Like I feel like I'm pretty good at what I do. I'm newer to like production side and have definitely taken my foot off the gas in terms of mixing and mastering my own music. I do all the Ellis stuff, but I feel like it's just getting to a new level. Um, and even like Happy Medium, I mixed and mastered that one. That one just like was straight from my computer, and it feels like people love that song. So I'm feeling inspired to do that more and outsource a little bit less, because when I started to outsource mixing, it was because I didn't want to do it and it felt like a burden and it was something I was not looking forward to tackling. So, I sent it to some friends who I know are pros, which I'll still probably do at some point. Um, I definitely will because I know there's people that are better than me. But right now, I just feel like I'm in a good space to just from start to finish make songs. And yeah, it's a fun place to be. Today is Wednesday, June 10th. If you're hearing this the day of release, uh, we have a tour announcement today. So that was kind of another reason why I decided to do a solo podcast because I can talk about this. Um, I've been waiting to give you this information for quite some time. I've known it's going down. It's ironic because I'm looking forward to being off the road, but I think that's also because I know I've got this coming and I'm going to be on the road a ton here. So I'm going to make most of the next 6 weeks. I'm going on tour as a tour manager, with Jay Zach and Dylan Owen, two friends of mine. I booked a short run for them in July. That's not the announcement today, but I'm doing that in July. That's for, yeah, like 9 days or something. So that'll be pretty easy. And then I'll be back home again. And then I'm leaving for the Buying Time tour. I will be opening for the Hold Up once again. I feel like we should start a boy band at this point, but that's my dog. Anytime he hits the road, he tries to include me and has included me on the past like 3 or 4 tours that he's done, which I'm really grateful for. Um, if you don't know about the Hold Up, definitely go check him out. He's one of my closest friends, super independent, super DIY as well, but like his final product is top notch. He's extremely talented, someone that inspires me a shit ton, and someone I've learned from over the years just being around him. And yeah, I feel like I've become a better overall human being by having him in my life. So I'm very excited to go on tour with him once again. I'm going to list the cities for you. So we're starting on August 27th and we are ending on October 17th. So it's almost 2 months straight of touring. I believe the total number is 33, maybe 34 shows, something like that. But I'm going to give you all the cities here. So if you're listening and you're in one of these cities, please come out and say hello. Starting with Roseville, California, which is basically Sacramento, Berkeley, California, Felton, California, Ventura, California, Pomona, California, which will, I guess, technically be our LA show. There's no proper LA date, but is at a venue called the Glass House, which I've heard good things about. It's a pretty big room, so that'll be really fun. And then we go down to San Diego, Phoenix, Arizona, Tucson, Arizona, Austin, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Pensacola, Florida, which I've never been to, and I'm excited for that. I know that venue for some friends that are in Alabama, and I know it's close to that border, so that's going to be fun. Tampa, Florida, Orlando, Florida, Virginia Beach, Richmond, Virginia, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New York City, Boston, Mass. That'll be kind of like a hometown vibe for me. Always fun to hit Boston. Cleveland, Ohio, Ann Arbor, Michigan, Chicago, Illinois, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Minneapolis, Omaha, Nebraska, Denver, Colorado, Salt Lake City, Utah, Boise, Idaho, Spokane, Washington, Bellingham, Washington, Seattle, Washington, and then ending in Portland, Oregon. So we're starting in Northern California, driving straight down all the way through Texas, all the way through Florida, all the way up the East Coast, hitting the Midwest on the way back, and then ending in the Pacific Northwest. One massive circle. It's about 6.5 weeks. It's going to be a blast. I'm just so blessed to be able to get to do this as consistently as I do. Um, Especially like the size of artist that I am. Like I would not be headlining in at least half of these places. So the fact that I'm able to go play for some new people and get a chance to share the stuff that I'm making, it's a fucking blessing, man. And I just don't ever take that for granted. So if you're listening to this and want to come to a show and come say hello, please do. It would mean the world to us. Some of these shows are going to be pretty sizable, maybe 6, 7, 800 people, depending on the market. And then some others will probably be 100 people, 200 people, in some of the markets that, he hasn't been to a ton or I've never been to, whatever. So going to be kind of just a good time, good overall vibe. I'm bringing Sham to play keys. He's going to crush it. So the way it's going to work out is I'm going to be first of 3 on the tour. So like the first opener. There's no local openers on these shows. It's just us on the tour package. There's going to be a direct support act before the holdup, who actually I don't even know who it is. I'll know who it is by the time we're posting this, but I haven't even got that information. But it'll be the holdup, another artist / band, and then myself. So I'm going as first of 3. Sham's going to play keys for me. I'm also going to be the tour manager for the tour. So basically playing point guard and running the show for everybody involved. And I'll be running merch also. So a lot of jobs to do during those 2 months. It's going to be pretty exhausting, but quite frankly, it's going to be a really good opportunity for me to make a good chunk of money in a short amount of time because I'm just doing so many jobs. And if merch goes well and people come out, like it's going to be a really nice time, not only financially, but it's going to be a blast because I'm on tour with some of my best friends. So yeah, that announced today or will announce, later today if you're catching this early. Tickets will go on sale on Friday, so in a couple days. But yeah, I can't wait. I've been gearing up for this. Really going to take, after that little July run with the boys, I'm going to take some time and make sure that I'm going to be able to deliver the best set that I've ever done. Coming off the Jigsaw tour, I feel super confident in the show that we put on. But I want to mix in some older stuff and mix it with the new album too. So, I can try to keep everybody happy and put on a great show and win some new fans too. So yeah, I can't wait. That's like the big news. I was kind of like the main point of doing this solo. But I did get some questions on the Instagram and I'll take a couple of those. I'm going to keep this pretty short today. Also just feels odd just talking to myself. I have no one to bounce this off of and I've never done a solo podcast. So hopefully, if you're listening, you're enjoying listening to me fucking ramble. One of the questions I got was, if you had to start over with no listeners, what would the first 90 days look like? So basically, brand new artist, what's the game plan? The first 90 days, I would try to very quickly decide what direction I'm going in terms of sound, aesthetic, brand, image, all these things. Like, what am I trying to put out into the world? I think a lot of artists start without knowing some of those answers, which is okay because I think you should start rather than sit around and overthink for your whole life, right? Like you'll figure it out as you go. But me being a 33-year-old person with the information that I have, if I were to start a brand new artist project, I would make sure I know what the answers are to that question. And I would figure out who and what I need to make those come to life. What producers I need to work with. Maybe there's some engineers I need to include. Um, Research like that style of production, just figure out like what I need to go into it. And I would stack music. I would try to make 90 days. I would try to make like aim for five or six songs, something like that. Have them completed and then pull up a calendar and fill in release dates every 2 or 3 weeks, depending on like what can be sustainable. And if it's a quicker pace, like I said with the Ellis thing, like every week, like it's time to flood the streets. People need this music. You're going to build catalog. Every song you put out is a new asset that you own. But if you're brand new, probably slower is the move so you can give people a chance to catch up and understand what's going on. And I would make sure I have a visual identity that matches the sound and the messaging and the aesthetic of what it is I'm going for. So I would try to go heavy on the visuals immediately. And that doesn't necessarily mean full blown big budget music videos, just content to post that matches what your target is. Um, Figure out a plan for marketing. If I was going to do like some paid ads or, you know, maybe fan pages on TikTok. There's so many ways to like go about getting new eyeballs on your music, but I think none of that matters if the song isn't good and you have clear messaging and if you're not consistent, all that kind of just falls to the wayside. So, um, yeah, I would focus on the product more than anything. And as you go, you'll figure out marketing side, things like that. Um, in a way, like we've kind of done this, not for myself, but I work with some artists on a coaching basis. And there's one artist I can think of in particular. His name is Beeman. He's super dope. I got to meet him. He came out here and recorded his debut album in this room with me. He's down in Alabama, and he was doing music for quite some time. Like I think started even maybe before I did. He's a bit older than me, but then I had a family, got a 9 to 5 gig, just was like a normal adult, a real adult. um, and then I connected with him through some mutual friends, and he was like, "Yeah, I want to get back into this. I want to like actually swing the bat." So I helped him come up with a plan to do all this. We started almost 2 years ago at this point, and he's actually about to be opening on the JZAC tour, the JZAC and Dylan Owen tour in July. So kind of a full circle moment. I didn't even mean to tie that together, but maybe I'm a podcaster. Um, but yeah, I feel like he's come a long way, and it took a little bit of time to figure out what his like brand identity and like what things are going to look like. And I think we're still trying to figure that out to some degree, but there is a level of consistency. He puts out a ton of music. He's gotten better and better and better as we go. And he's got, I don't know the exact number, but maybe 20 or 30,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Like there's some momentum there, and it's all within the past like couple years. So, um, I don't think I have all the answers by any means. So hopefully, to the person that asked this question, hopefully this is helpful. But yeah, I think the main thing is just making sure you're intentional and you're consistent. Um, Got another question that said, what was the dopest thing you've done as an artist, and what was the worst thing that you've done as an artist? Um, I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about these. I just kind of fielded them and then just chose them. But I think the dopest thing I've done as an artist in general is continue to bet on myself even when the world tells me maybe I shouldn't, like not everything I've done was super profitable, but I think I just made this commitment to my purpose and what I do a long time ago that the results are almost like I don't want to say they don't matter because I want to keep growing. I want to make sure things are successful. I'm not just wasting my time, right? Like, but I'm on pursuit to make something really good and affect people in a positive way. I'm not really in pursuit to make more money than the next guy or become famous or anything. So it's like I think the best thing I've done is to just trust my artistic vision and continue to see it through regardless of what's going on. Um, the worst thing that I've ever done is, um, hmm, it's a tough one because, like I said, there's definitely been some failures, but they all kind of amount to like the situation at hand now, and things would be different if I kind of misstep. But I think there was a time where maybe I could have signed a deal after the Vanilla album and probably could have had way more success on like a mainstream level. But at the same time, I don't think I was ready for that, and I don't think I was good enough to be on the level that I might have could have been. So yeah, I think I'm walking myself back from that answer. I think it was ultimately the right decision. Um, I mean, COVID was tough. That wasn't really anybody's fault, but I definitely lost a lot of momentum on the touring side and felt like I had to start over in like 2023 after everything settled and I started getting more opportunities to be on the road again. Um, but I didn't really do anything. I don't know. I think I'm doing a shitty job at answering this question, but um, Adam will be back very soon. I think I'm going to do one more podcast with a guest for next week. Undecided who that's going to be. There are a couple options and we're going to queue some up here. But um, yeah, drop some drop some comments with some other topics that maybe you want to hear me cover in another one of these. Maybe Adam will do a solo one and I'll set one out. If you guys enjoyed this kind of format. I know it's a bit different, but we wanted to stay committed and drop every Wednesday. And since he wasn't around, I wanted to make sure I could at least show up and touch base and give you a kind of a live update. Um, so yeah, hopefully I'm not missing anything. I don't know, but anyways, we'll see you next week. And thanks for tuning in. If you did, um, grab some tickets on Friday. Let me know where you'll be if you're coming to a show. And I can't wait to see you guys. We'll see you very soon. Peace.